Hey guys, good morning. I'm excited to talk about real estate today. I will, I'll start off kind of talking about the current market because we all know that it's been really busy and crazy, and you've been hearing a lot in the news and from friends and family, I'm sure, over the last year or so. And what does it mean when you keep hearing we're in a seller's market? We're in a seller's market. There is just more demand. There are more buyers than there are people selling their homes, and it's contributed a lot from COVID, people moving west of New York and Manhattan, and people coming more into the northern New Jersey area. And it's construction over the last decade, has slowed down quite a bit. So we're having this discrepancy of the number of homes available to the number of people interested. The other thing is that mortgage rates are incredibly low. And with that, when money's cheap, you've got a lot of first-time buyers coming in. You've got a lot of people moving or refinancing, because when money's cheap, you can afford more home. And people love to hear that. And so we have got a big demand for buyers. And of course, sellers are interested in capitalizing on this market, but then there is, where do I go? Now they are in the position where they don't have a place to buy, because now they're on the hustle side fighting for the limited number of homes available, which has in turn created a shortage in rentals as well. So in the rental market now, we're seeing a very high demand where we're seeing multiple applications for apartments, and people are competing now to get 1 and 2 bedroom apartments, which is crazy. We haven't really seen that much. And the demand is just a little bit nutty, and it has been for about a year now. And we are seeing it slow down a little bit, but I don't think it's going to slow just yet. We're thinking that maybe by the spring, things will level out and all of these multiple offer bidding war situations will come to a close. And bidding war is kind of not exactly an accurate term, because what happens is, I don't know if anybody's moved in the last year or anything, but when you put an offer in on a house and there are multiple offers, normally what's going on is, it's not a back and forth negotiation anymore. You get a call, either your offer was chosen or you're not. There's no counter unless you're the chosen offer. The chosen offer may have a counter, but it's either yes or no for everybody else. So it's an unfortunate situation. It becomes difficult, but what you find is that the most organized and buttoned up offers, the most thought out and well prepared offers tend to get accepted, because the listing agent and the family selling, or the person selling, they tend to recognize, okay, this looks like somebody that's going to be able to close. This looks like somebody that knows this process, knows what to expect, and how to prepare and put in an offer accurately. So it's been a crazy year, but I'm hoping by the spring we'll see things kind of slow down a little bit, and the demand won't be so strong from the buyer's perspective, and we can get some of these buyers into homes that have been struggling. I was working with a first-time home buyer earlier this year, and they were so disgruntled because they had put in 20 offers or something for homes and lost all of them. So we started working together. We got them secured in housing, but it was just so frustrating for them. They were living with family members, and they were saying, it's just been so difficult. We've saved, we've done everything right that we could do, and we still can't secure a home. And, like I said, proper paperwork, getting everything buttoned up, finding the right fit. You can get a house. It's just a matter of organization and knowledge and preparedness, honestly. Sorry, I'm going through slides. I didn't want to do a slide share. I didn't have many of them. But the other thing I wanted to talk about is some tips preparing to sell. And everybody's going to tell you, and you've heard it 1,000 times, clean and declutter, all of that stuff. But what does that really mean? It means get rid of everything that is not nailed down, essentially, besides large furniture items. It's like you really want to keep all counter space, all walls, shelving, all of that stuff clean of personal items. It looks best in the photos. It looks best when people are coming to show the house, because they can actually see the bones of the house that way, and see beyond the clutter or the garbage can that's propped up in the corner of the room, or the artwork and the, whatever you might have in the house. So it's really more than just like a declutter. It's like, pack everything up. It's going to be packed anyway. I don't know if you've ever into an open house or something and peek inside the garage, and the garage is like packed ceiling to floor with items, because people take everything out of their house and put it away, put it in the attic, put it in the basement, get it ready to move, and really streamline the house for showings. It tends to show a lot better, especially in photos when you're going on the MLS. I always recommend too, as people are preparing to sell, I like to know well ahead of time, because pictures in the summer always look better than when they do in the winter. When everything is lush, the lawn is green, the trees are full in the backyard or the front yard, the landscaping is fresh. It's a great time to take photos. Even if you're not ready to move yet, get the photos done, list in February, usually right after the Super Bowl is when things kind of kick off, is when spring technically kicks off in the real estate market. So I say always get them done the summer beforehand if you can and are able to plan that far ahead. And I always recommend small minor repairs, not full gut renovations. Don't worry so much about those things. A coat of interior paint always goes a really long way. And I always like to replace things like vent covers or the plates around your light switches. Those can, those get a lot of wear and tear and can look a little dingy over the years and decades, sometimes that people have been in the home. But a fresh white plate around your light switches, little things like that, changing out your vent covers if they're looking a little dirty or dusty, things like that can really make a house kind of come together and look well cared for, which is important when you're showing buyers. And again, full renovations of bathrooms and kitchens, it's great. You're going to add value to your home 100%, but it's not necessarily needed. Clean landscaping outside, great curb appeal, clean up the house that way. These little small cosmetic things, they go a very long way. And from the other side, when somebody's preparing to buy, and they're just starting the conversation, my first advice is always save, save, save. It can be more expensive than you expect sometimes. And, the cost of attorneys and insurances and inspections. And now we're doing more sewer line inspections and we're seeing more things like that. When you're going into a home, it's always important to have as many funds available to you as you can in preparation. More is always better, even if you're not putting all of it down on the house, and Caitlin from Guaranteed Rate Mortgage can talk more about, how much you have to put down for mortgages now. Everybody thinks 20%, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. And that's the second thing from a buyer perspective. I always try and put my clients in touch with one or two, or give a few recommendations of great lenders that I've worked with that I know are going to do a fantastic job and get us to close. So it's always good to shop your mortgage, get the best rates you can, because the lower the rate, the more you save, and it's gonna help in the long run, 100%. From there, it's always find the right agent that's a good fit for you. Obviously, I'm a good fit for all of you and all of your family, but I always recommend it. Talk to a few agents, find out who knows the area well, somebody that's going to be available to you. You don't always want the most popular agent in town. I've had people come to me saying, I went to so-and-so, but they never, they would return my phone calls a day later. They were delayed on email. I just felt like I wasn't a priority because they are so busy. Find somebody that's going to be a good fit for you. This is an important decision, whether you're buying or selling, renting. It's always hectic and can be stressful and adds a lot of worry, but find somebody that you feel comfortable with, somebody that you're going to get the attention that you need and knows the process, is well-versed and knowledgeable, and somebody that's going to get you from point A to point B where you want to be. The other thing I tell people when they're putting in offers, we always talk about the waivers, because right now you're hearing a lot, probably, I don't know, about people waiving their inspection or waiving their appraisal. And I make sure to sit down with my buyers and talk to them exactly, what does this mean? When we're going in and waiving things, what does that mean for you? You have to know the risks. And I would never have any of my clients waive an inspection where they're not getting an inspection. That is absolutely insane. Don't ever do that. Always inspect. It's just a matter of what you're going to nitpick on based on the inspection report. So when you're waiving inspection, what you're doing is you're saying, all right, you know what, if an outlet isn't a GFI outlet and it's supposed to be, I'm not gonna ask for money back for something like that. What I'm gonna do though is if anything is structurally wrong, environmentally wrong, major functions of the house, air conditioning, plumbing, electrical, if there's any major issues there, then we'll talk, and then we'll go back and negotiate. But little cosmetic things or little cracks in sheetrock or something, we're not going to cause a fuss over. But again, it's really important to understand what you're waiving, especially in a market like this, when you're seeing a lot of people waive their inspection or waive their appraisal. And by waiving appraisal, of course, what you mean is that you're, with a mortgage, you have to have the house appraised. But when you're seeing these bidding wars, people are offering maybe above what the house is going to appraise for. So what happens then? A bank isn't going to give you $500,000 for a house if their appraisers are saying it's only worth $450,000. So what you have to do then is you personally have to bring an extra $50,000 to the closing table and close that gap, because it's not going to be in your mortgage. So it's things like that that buyers really have to be aware of and be knowledgeable about and know what the process is and what they're signing up for and agreeing to. And the last thing I'll kind of talk and touch on, I guess, is, protecting your investment. When you're buying a house and you're planning to be there for a long time, it's important to, I think, keep up with it. This is one of your biggest assets, most people's biggest assets that they're going to have. And little bits go a long way, making sure that it is in good working order, everything's being well taken care of. You're changing air filters and doing annual landscaping cleanup or nice curb appeal. If you do these things along the way, and it doesn't take much, then when you do go to sell, it's not such a big undertaking. It's these little things. Bring in a professional house cleaner once or twice a year, just to do the deep clean that you can't always get to, because who has time for that all the time, and who wants to, but to do it once or twice a year, get somebody through, it keeps the house in good order for when you are ready to make that move, even if it's not now or next year. I talk about real estate agents and being prepared and having your paperwork and your process in good working order. Another thing to look for when you're talking to agents, you want somebody with a really strong network, because it's important to have a team that works together and works together well. So me as an agent, one thing that's important to me is to build up the relationships around me. Real estate attorneys, inspectors, mortgage brokers, title insurance companies, all of these things that you're going to need when you're buying or selling your home, photographers, all of these things, so when something comes up, I can say, oh, call so-and-so. And you know what, when you mention my name, they're going to say, oh, sure, you're one of Erin's clients. No problem. I can come out quickly. You're not a cold call. You're not going through the phone book, Google, whatever, I'm aging myself. But, it's like, you don't have to do these things. I have a whole list of contacts for you to help you through anything that comes up, electricians or plumbers or whatever it is that you need help with. And that's really important, because you don't want to go blind into something. You want somebody that's going to react and respond in a way that that you need. These, like I said, this can be stressful. And if something comes up and you need a quick fix or you need to schedule something, it's nice to know you have somebody that's going to get back to you and have that level of connection and respect for the relationship. With somebody that I've been working with for a while, they're going to say, okay, you're going to take a little bit of a priority here. I know who you are. I know who you're coming from. I work with this person a lot, and I'm going to do this as a favor, and I'm going to get back to you quickly. And it's really nice.